So I've watched the new Hugh Jackman movie, The Sheep Detectives, and it was surprisingly very interesting to say the least. As in, it's basically a story about a shepherd who dies and the sheep have to find out who did the murder, as in who did it, like a Agatha Christie novel, essentially, like a murder mystery, like who done, who, what, when, why, how. Like, it does take some obvious inspiration, not just of the Agatha Christie stuff, but also I do see little hints of like something like Babe or Hot Fuzz, particularly the police officer who's in a really small rural village that has a lot of very shady crime behind it. And of course, I forgot what the other films I mentioned. So what I think about this movie, it's essentially kind of a sheep's existential crisis in a sense, as in whatever they think about what happens to sheep when they die and how they relate that to humans dying, which is pretty much the huge part of that movie, as in they find out the shepherd's dead and of course they have to solve it, and of course go through that existential dread of like, what's happened, so they have to figure it out. And of course guiding the humans through unorthodox means essentially. And it's also somewhat reminds me of the Aardman show, Shaun the Sheep, as in, it's basically about a farmer who undervalues the intelligence of his own sheep that he herds, which is, again, a very interesting concept, but I don't remember in Shaun the Sheep that the farmer dies, which, again, a little bit of a out there, a bit of a bleak concept for a kids show, but here we are. But what I did also find also somewhat very interesting is how really creative they put together of who did it and what did it. Again, something similar to a Agatha Christie novel, or something like Knives Out, like the Wright Johnson trilogy, which is again also super interesting in my opinion. But all in all, I thoroughly enjoyed the Sheep Detective movies. So I'm with my dad, who came along to watch the movie. So we discussed over tea, which is we went to the pub next door, as in the movie of course takes a much more existential role in the movie. We also discussed the reference of like Shaun the Sheep in the movie, as well as Agatha Christie stuff. What do you pick up on in the movie?
That's a great idea. Some great thinking about what sheep think about, what sheep think about humans, what sheep think about life and death.
Yeah, like how they perceive
Yeah,
them.
absolutely. And then a kind of some complex interaction between humans. You got a bit of a loner character and his complex relationship with the people around
like
him.
the winter sheep.
Oh, absolutely.
Kind of like the black sheep, essentially.
Yeah.
Kind of goes around that area.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of gentle comedy in some senses, but in other senses, very real and quite deep.
Yeah.
We see a real murder of the guy that appears to be the hero in the film.
Yeah.
And the central character, at least, and sheep key role in solving the unlikely mystery.
Yeah.
At first, getting the wrong character, and then finally, we appear to get the right one.
Yeah, pretty much eventually getting pretty much like a lot of Agatha Christie stuff, as well as stuff like Knives Out by Wright Johnson, starring Daniel Craig.
Yep. It's got a lot of contemporary references. The interesting thing is, a lot of the plot twists come from some of the books that the shepherd has had a habit of reading to his sheep.
Yeah.
So some great stuff. If Chicken Run was an escape film by animals, this is a detective film by sheep, not chickens.
Yeah. For Sheep Detectives, I'm feeling an 8 out of 10 on this one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Quite emotional, actually. I think there's a few wet eyes in the house. Very rare for me to enjoy a film so much. So I would give it a 9.
Not wet out here. It's raining. Chucked it down.
There we go. So I see sheep in a different light now.
Okay.